podcast stories. Clip it, damn ya. Hello, friends. Welcome to User Friendly, the podcast that talks about some tech. We talk about some Greek food.
All things that are Greek and food.
And we talk about our favorite things on the web. I'm your co-host. My name is Roberto Hoyos, and I have a company called Throwboy that makes pillows. I'm here with my friend
Airfront Elijah. You might know me from the Cultcast podcast. Go F yourselves, Internet. My Xbox thinks I'm talking to it.
Yeah, it does.
Ever watchful. Xbox, stop listening to me.
It's not listening now.
Yeah, no, it stopped.
Yeah.
How
are you? Jinx.
No, I can't talk. I just had to sit here the whole episode. I'm well.
Cool. I'm well too.
Good. I was doing some cool Black Friday shopping the last couple days, but I didn't really end up buying anything. You said you didn't buy anything either, did you?
Well, I bought one thing for myself.
What'd you get?
Well, I told you about it. I bought this blazer that I ended up thinking was too big on me.
You bought that for a Black Friday deal?
Well, I was just going down the street and I was like, oh yeah, they probably have like really cheap stuff right now because it's a thrift store. And
how much lower can it get at their store?
Oh, it was ridiculous. It was like
everything's like $1.
Well, some of stuff like today I saw like everything with a pink tag is 99 cents.
I know you like things with the pink tags.
Yeah,
you got crazy in there.
But I didn't buy anything today. But no, I was
you bought a blazer.
I was there today, and it was like so ridiculous. Like I bought this blazer that didn't fit. When I got home, I was like, actually, this is too big on me. And so I usually keep the tags and I keep the receipt just for a little while, just in case, especially thrift store stuff where I'm like, I don't know if I really want it or not, you know?
Yeah.
So so I did that, came back with the receipt, came back with the tag, and I was like, I'm just going to try to find another one. I found another one, and I was like, oh, cool, I'll just like put it towards that. And so I go up to the counter, and they're like, they just seem like really off today in experience. She's like, oh, what register did you purchase this from? And I was like, maybe that one? I don't know. You know, like, what does that matter?
I need the register code, sir.
And then finally she was like, you need to have the itemized receipt. This is just the credit receipt. And I was like, well, I don't have that. You know, I probably threw it away. I don't know. And I'm like, can't you just make an exception? I'm going to buy this other thing, you know?
Yeah,
I'm spending like $10, and I spent $2 the other day because it was Black Friday. So can't you just make an exception? And she's like, well, I don't know. Let me talk to my manager. She comes back, and she re-explains it like I didn't hear her. And I was like, so did she say I could do it? I was like, I really don't understand the motive behind not letting me return it, you know, because it's so small. It was like literally $2.50.
I know, you're sitting there arguing over $2,
and I'm just like, but I'd rather have that than have a coat that doesn't fit that I'm never gonna wear, you know?
Oh, totally. Yeah, if
like,
it doesn't fit, I mean, what are you gonna do with this thing?
Like,
then it's just a hassle.
I'm like, what am I gonna do? Donate it back to you?
She's like, that would be great, sir. Yeah. We'll mark it up and make $10 on it.
It was really weird, and I was like, okay, fine. And then I'm like, okay, I just want to buy this then. I don't, whatever. Because I'm gonna go back in another day or two and have someone else that's not an idiot do it for me. Because it's so,
yeah,
it was their fault. She even said,
so she didn't do it for you.
She didn't, and she even said, oh, you know, it's weird that they didn't staple your receipt to this because they usually do. And I was like, so you're telling me you guys messed this up, but yet you won't return it for me.
That's so funny.
So I end up, I'm going like, okay, whatever. Let me just buy this because I didn't want to get into an argument. And I was like, and she like looks around. She was really weird, and I was like, do you want me to go to that line? She's like, yeah, you need to go to that line. And I was like, okay. So I went into this line, and then right as I left, she's like, oh, can I help you? Like to the person behind me, and rang her up. And I was like,
she's like, I like to return this, but I don't have a receipt. Oh, no problem.
Yeah. They even told me,
a full refund?
One of the people was like, I was like, how long do I have to return something? This was days ago. And she was like, oh, it's kind of like this, but you know, usually we'll give you like leeway if you don't have your tag on it or something. So like they were totally cool. And then this one day I don't know, I just found it really strange that I was getting like bad customer service. And then I'm like, people that make like freaking $7 an hour, they don't give a shit.
They don't care about
like,
your problems.
Why would they care? You know,
yeah.
What incentive do they have to like actually make the company look good? You know, they have none, you know?
Yeah.
So, and then we were talking about this earlier, like, you said you were having bad customer experience?
I've had 2 bad customer service experiences in the last 2 weeks. One of them very recent, just actually yesterday. And it always frustrates me because what most companies don't get, and I think you and I get this, is that your marketing is done there. I mean, if you have an opportunity to earn a customer for life, or to really piss somebody off over $2,
which I tweeted too, which I don't do.
Yeah, because it was so asinine what she was doing that you're like, I have to tell people how stupid.
It was like talking to a robot.
Yeah, right.
Where you're just like, no, I'm explaining to you. You get this, right? And she was just like, our policy is
that you cannot return without receipt. Please insert receipt into slot. I don't have my receipt. Please insert receipt into slot. I don't have my receipt. So I bought something. Okay, actually, let me back up. So I bought this Mac, I think it was. And I bought it from the Apple Store online. And I needed to call them and mess with some of the shipping stuff, information that I gave them, and it was delivered a little bit later. And I was having some problems. And when I called them, I talked to a guy who was obviously very intelligent. He was very attentive. He understood what I was saying, right? And he was like, oh, sir, I'm going to make sure I do this, this, and this. And he put me on hold several times. And then all of my problems were solved with one phone call, right?
I love that, by the way.
I was like, this is great. You call Apple, they take care of you, and it makes me want to shop with them again. Had a problem with the Microsoft Store. Polar opposite experience. I called the woman. It didn't sound like English was her first language. So she was having an extraordinarily difficult time understanding what I was even asking her to do. And I was like, I need you to change the address. I gave you the wrong address. I need you to change it. And she was like, okay, sir, I see that your item has shipped. Here's your tracking number. Is that everything that you needed today? And I'm like, no, that's not what I said to you at all. And I had to describe my problem to her probably 3 or 4 times. And finally, because she still did not understand that you have the wrong address, my box is going to the wrong place, and you need to change this. So finally, I'm like, can I speak to your manager? And she was like, sure, sir, but I've already given you your tracking number. Are you sure that you need... I'm like, yes. Let me talk to your manager. And so she puts me on hold for 10 minutes. Manager comes on. Bottom line, no, we can't help you. You have to cancel your order. That's the only way that you can do this. And I was like, I just talked to Apple the other day. I didn't say Apple, but I was like, I just talked to another company the other day. They took care of me. They were able to handle it. You're essentially saying that there's nothing you can do. And she's like, yes, sir, that's it. Not empowered. And I was like, what a terrible experience. It just makes me never want to shop with them again.
It's like you said, not empowered. Like, they give the geniuses, like, as an example, they give them like carte blanche for whatever. Like, they get to do whatever they want, because that's where the buck stops at the Apple Store, right? Like, even beyond the managers in most cases, because they're the ones that can be like, yeah, we can make you happy when you leave here, or yeah, you can hate us forever when you leave here, And
it makes sense. Apple gets it. It makes sense for them to take care of you in the moment, because they want to keep you as a customer. And they want you to tell your friends about that Apple Store experience you had where, oh, I took my phone in and it was busted and I was out of warranty and they gave me a brand new one.
Because you tell everybody.
You tell everybody about that. And not like when the Microsoft Store screws you, well, they didn't screw me. It was my fault. But when they weren't able to help me, I was like, screw you guys. Like it makes me just not want to shop with you anymore.
But especially when it's something so like easy where you can actually explain it and it's not like we were saying, like a robot. It's just like, if you can actually like sit down with somebody and be like, yo, this is what happened. Then why shouldn't they, It seems so stupid.
Why shouldn't they be able to do something about it?
Exactly.
Yeah, I agree. It's like, why is your customer service here?
Why is it so black and white when we're people talking right now?
Yeah.
It's like people's excuse. Well, if we do it for you, we have to do it for everyone.
It's like you should do this for everyone. This is why you're going out of business. This is why the Apple Store is full all the time, and there's tumbleweeds in your store.
Dude, I mean, speaking of customer service, I remember Gary Vaynerchuk talking about how, because he writes a lot of books about like customer service and like social media stuff. And he was saying, this was like 2 years ago, maybe one of his first book, of how we're living in a time now with Twitter, with Facebook, with Yelp, where businesses are now, they can't hide, and they're going to be more attentive, and they're going to be basically like scared if you're going to be leaving them bad comments, bad tweets, whatever about their brand, you know, because they're watching. Like a lot of brands, my friend works for Wendy's Twitter, and she's like always going through the Wendy's Twitter.
The Wendy's fast food restaurant.
And like I have a few friends that actually do Twitter support, you know, and they have to monitor the brand and everything like that. And so I think that that's not even really that true. I think that some places can avoid being on Twitter, and they never have to actually answer to anything. And like you'll tell maybe your 5 friends and maybe your 100 or 2,000 followers on Twitter, but if they're not listening and they're not responding, then it doesn't matter, you know? Like it's not gonna go any further than that. You don't actually have the power that he's saying that you did. Like he was saying, like you now have the power. The power's back to it's back to old time rules, like in a small town where if you said that the bakery was bad, everybody would know about it. I don't think it's like that.
I don't think it's like that on Twitter. I think Twitter is basically worthless in that regard because the tweets are farts in the wind. They're gone as soon as they're out. They're gone, right? They get buried. But on a site like Yelp, it's way more important because that is a place of record.
True.
Where people can go check.
But I think like something like a thrift store, they're not gonna give a crap if they have a bad Yelp review.
They're not on Twitter.
They're not on anything, right? Like
yeah.
That's the thing.
They can be put onto Yelp even if they don't want to be.
But I'm just like another example is we went to South by 2-3 years ago, and we got refused. We got invited to a party, and then we got refused at the door. And then I was like,
"What party was that?"
It was to go to see Hoodie Allen.
Okay, was I with you?
Yeah.
Oh,
we walked a really far way to go, and this was like, you know, we're at this conference.
I remember you were pissed. I do remember this.
We're at this conference that's all about social media and about like, you know, this whole thing I'm talking about, and I was just like, dude, I'm gonna tweet this. Like, that's kind of like the thing is like, well, I'm gonna tell everybody that you guys invited us and you told us to get out of here. Right. And he just laughs. He's like, okay,
I don't care.
Yeah. But it's just like that's true, dude. I don't think that it's as hardcore as some people think it. Like, I don't think that people. I think Gary Vee kind of spun it to where it sounded really like, whoa, we have like all this empowerment now. We can get like, if we had a bad customer service at a restaurant, we can like whip out our phone and they'll seat us, you know? Because I don't think that's really true.
I think it's true for him, but I think that outside of his like perspective that he has influence over all these people that follow him on Twitter, that's probably not true.
Yeah.
I would say the average Twitter user, I don't know how active people are on Twitter, but I see a lot of Twitter people who maybe only tweet like once every week, once every 2 weeks, once every month. If you go on and you badmouth some restaurant on there, I just don't think they're going to care. Like, especially if they don't use their Twitter.
If you were at like Nordstrom and they gave you a bad time and you took out your phone and you started tweeting like in front of them, they wouldn't care.
No, they wouldn't care at all. Yeah. What you need to do, my dad told me this, and I think it's very true. You need to always make sure you're speaking to the right end of the horse, right? So it's like you talk to these lower end people, and they may be having a bad day. They may be making minimum wage.
Right.
And so generally the manager is someone who's hopefully reasonable, of higher intelligence. And so I was having an experience just yesterday where I'm joining a gym. I switched gyms. I'm joining a new gym. I went in there over the last 4 weeks. I tried it out. I've been speaking with them. And on Tuesday, I went and I worked out for the last time. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to join this gym, right? So I go and talk to one of the guys at the counter. I'm like, what specials do you guys have going on right now? Because I know you had some. And he's like, oh, well, you get 2 months free if you pay blah, blah, blah. You just need to come in here and pay it. And it was a good deal. So I was like, cool, I'm going to do that on Thursday or Friday when I come back in. So I call them before I go in. And I'm like, I'm going to come in here and get this deal. And, just want to make sure, like, what do I need to bring, blah, blah, blah. And the girl's like, we don't have that deal. And I'm like, what? Like, blah, blah, blah told me that you guys were going to do it. And she was like, no, sir, that deal isn't the real deal. She's like, we've been having a problem with him. He's actually been telling other people that, too. Oh. And I was like, so let me get this straight. You're telling me that not only are you admitting that it's your fault that this happened, but
same thing happened to me.
But you're not going to give me the deal. And she was adamant, no, I am not going to give you that deal. And I was like, I need to speak to the right end of the horse. Yeah. Where's your manager? So the manager gets on the phone, and I was like, look, I want to join your gym. Yeah. Goodwill, right? You're making it very hard. You promised me a deal, and you didn't give it to me. And that's very frustrating because you are reneging on our agreement. I agreed to pay. You gave me a deal.
Yeah.
And we had made a deal. Like, I was going to pay you. And she was smart. She did the right thing. She was like, I'm going to give you everything that you asked for because you're right. It was our fault. I'm very sorry. I'm going to give you a free t-shirt, which I don't give a crap about that, right? Yeah. But she made it good.
Was it one of those that changes color when you work out?
No, that one I would have kept. She's like, if you get hot, it turns green. I'm like, it is green. She's like, I know. I was like, okay, that's confusing, but I'm still gonna join. I guess my point is, make sure you're speaking to a manager or something and be cool. That's the thing. People get pissed.
Yeah.
And when you're pissed and you're angry, no one wants to give you anything.
I was totally cool.
Yeah. I'm surprised that
I just kind of just like, I was sort of hungover and I kind of lost my patience.
Yeah, I get it. It's easy to get mad with people when they're giving you the tude.
Yeah.
Anywho, companies out there,
yeah.
if you're listening, give me, Roberto, what I want.
Yeah.
What we want.
Yeah, dude. He was saying, like, one of his examples was, he's like, I guarantee in the future when you tweet, like, I'm going running, you're going to get, like, 10 pairs of Nikes in your mail. You're going to get 10 pairs of different competing shoes in your mailbox the next day trying to get your business.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know if that's true. Yeah. I mean, we might be a long ways away from that. And if you get a bad pizza at a pizza shop, it's like, you don't tweet them. Freaking call them. Make a personal connection and say, you guys owe me a pizza. I think that's bound to get you more results than an angry tweet.
Yeah, where you're just like, hopefully they see it, you know? Like,
yeah.
It's just like passive as hell.
I think if you're going to make a tweet like that or something on Yelp, at that point, you are taking retribution into your own hands. You're not going to get anything for it, but you might harm them in some way.
Yeah. That's kind of what I did. I mean, I don't like I said, I doubt they care on Twitter, especially like where I was just shopping. But I will go back later and just do it when I just have the patience to do it.
Yeah, and talk to someone who actually is not a robot. Please enter a receipt.
Search,
this thing isn't working. Please enter a receipt. You will be escorted from the premises.
Whoa, is that to me more?
Yeah. Did you know that she worked at your vintage shop? Maybe she was low on juice. She was getting grouchy. I'm sorry, sir. I'm low on power. What else were we going to talk about? We should have written these down. Oh,
we're gonna talk about this guy that hired somebody to slap him in the face.
All right, cool. Isn't this from circa 1997?
There's a slow news week. Okay.
This is the slowest time of the year. It really is so slow.
Okay, no, this was tweeted today.
I'm gonna be talking about iPhone 3GS on Cultcast. The cool things you could do with your iPhone 3GS this week on the Cultcast.
You can make a gingerbread house.
You can throw it at people who are making you angry.
Yeah, so we decided maybe we'd talk a little bit about this kind of like productivity or something.
Cool.
So this was tweeted today. I just saw it. This guy, this is the title. This is on finance.yahoo.com. This guy hired someone to slap him in the face every time he got on Facebook. And basically what it is this guy hired somebody off Craigslist after using different apps that kind of like shut down your browser and stuff like that when they're like, oh, you spent this much time on, you know, so-and-so site, you know? So it shows you the different times, and it said that he spent like 29 hours on Reddit and Facebook during the week.
What? Wow.
Yeah.
How do you do that when you have a job?
So he used something called Time Rescue, and this guy probably works at home, you know. This is probably at a coffee shop. So here, I'll just do a little video here. So he hired this chick to slap him in the face when he would open up Facebook, and he basically was saying it worked, but not really because of the slap. It was more just like being monitored, you know, like sort of like being babysat, like don't go on that Facebook. But he also would talk to her about stuff like if he was doing like, I think he was a coder, so he was like working on stuff, and he would ask her things, and I think that made him more task oriented rather than just like spacing off. And I've done this kind of technique before, not the slap thing, but I've done where I put like a site blocker on certain websites. One of them,
how do you do it?
I don't remember what one was called. I think I just looked it up in like the different like Google app extensions or whatever they're called, and one would like actually put like a gray screen over your browser and be like, oh, you're opening up Facebook. Because I do it out of habit all the time. Like I have all of my little tabs or whatever they're called, the little bookmarks, and I often always click on the Facebook one. It's right there, and I don't know. I'm fully addicted to like actively browsing different websites a lot.
Me too.
You know, like clicking on Twitter, clicking on Facebook, clicking on this. No more so than on my phone, and it's like grossly like addictive on my phone, where I'm just like, Instagram refresh, this refresh, Vine refresh, Tumblr refresh, like, and I'll just sit there all the time, and I feel like I'm getting that same sort of like feeling that you get from like smoking or something. Like I feel like I'm like actually addicted to it, you know. And so I totally understand this. I just don't know if I would go as far as having somebody slap me in the face. But I mean, I don't know if that could reverse it.
This is so stupid. I mean, what did she follow him around?
I think that this is like, hey, meet me at Starbucks. I'm going to work for 8 hours or something, you know.
And so you just paid her to sit there. And if you got on Facebook, so you would never get on Facebook if you knew you were going to get slapped.
That's the thing, though. But he got more work done, right?
Because he knew he was going to get slapped.
Yeah, I mean, if he did, I don't know.
Kind of extreme.
So do you have any techniques, or do you not have this problem?
I definitely have this problem. I think everyone who lives in a digital age has this problem, especially when you work on a computer.
Yeah, and I never worked on computers for work. Like before Throwboy, I worked at the Apple Store, and that was the closest I got to working with computers, right? So I never had a desk job where I could, like, in the age of Facebook and Twitter, I never had a desk job where I could, like, open up tabs and stuff. So I've never had that problem. And it's worse for me because I work at home and I'm not monitored, you know?
Yeah, when you're at home especially, because it's just so easy just kind of dink around and not get stuff done. For me, I've found that I like to have distractions. I like to have the TV on when I work. I like to have the radio going when I work, or Pandora. And what I found is I just need to force myself to end the distractions. Like I don't open up my email app. I don't open up my Twitter app. And I really tried to avoid responding to like social media or email triggers, because like an email will come in or someone replies you. And it's like as soon as you hear the sound or you see the notification, you immediately want to divert from what you're concentrating on to go look at that. And I found that to be very distracting. And I think the biggest way I avoid getting sidetracked is being very intentional on what I'm working on. So I need to have a clear goal before I start my day, like maybe even a list. Here are the things I need to get done today. And then that way it helps me avoid being unproductive, because I feel like generally when I'm unproductive, it's because I don't really know what I'm focusing on.
Right.
So then I end up just being like, oh, I'm going to hop on Amazon. Oh, I'm going to browse Reddit. You know, I'm going to do this and that, because I don't really know what I should be doing anyway. Whereas when I'm really busy and I'm just heads down because I know what I need to get done and I have a checklist, then I'm like, okay, I'm cruising, right? And I feel like I don't have time to use Twitter all day.
Right.
Because it's just going to distract me from my goal.
Yeah, that helps me a lot too. And I do like very simple, like note on paper, you know, number it, and then I just put like notes down.
I feel like that works the best for me.
Just put it in front of me. I've been working from the couch more, like you were saying, because you like to work from the coffee table. I started doing that, and I feel like it's a better fit than the desk sometimes, because the desk is just kind of like, I don't know. It's a weird situation when you're at home and you like have to try to like be in a desk environment, you know?
Yeah. I think some people just aren't suited for a desk environment either.
Yeah. I found this really good book. You know the 37 Signals guys?
Yeah.
So John told me about this new book they put out called Remote. So they put out Redo, which is like kind of like how to do work in a different way, and now they put out this other one that's about remote working. And they talk a lot about this kind of thing where working from home, working remotely, kind of like techniques of how you could actually feel like you're in a working environment. Like they say sometimes you might get a little like cabin fever. You should go to a coffee shop and try to focus and work there instead of like having to be in your home all day, you know? And they said like even stuff like just getting dressed, and you know, like you have the luxury of just being in your sweatpants all day. And they said that you should do that sometimes, But they said that some people can't get in the mindset of actually getting to work unless they like, you know, get dressed fully.
You're sitting on your couch in your suit.
Yeah, dude. I don't do a suit usually, but I'll get dressed fully with shoes on and everything to actually to feel like I'm in work mode.
And then you're like, okay, put together, ready to start working.
Yeah.
That's interesting. I want to read that book.
It's really good.
Because I know those guys built their business by having people work remotely.
Yeah, and they still do. And it's just interesting how far it's come. They were just kind of like highlighting the fact that the technology has really crept up on us within the last like 5 years now. Like free video chatting with screen sharing is like everywhere, you know? And you don't really have to have like a lot of these crazy power tools. Most of them are just completely free. You know,
Google
even
Hangouts.
based on, you know, even like built-in stuff like FaceTime and all that kind of stuff, you know. They said like screen sharing goes a long way rather than just, you know, like trying to do things like via email and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a good book.
I screen share a lot. I mean, with people, like when we're trying to like figure out how to do stuff.
It gets things done so much quicker, dude.
It really does, yeah. And it helps you kind of like to know what they're looking at and stuff. The environment today that we work in is so different, like they said, than 5 years ago. It's incredible. I mean, you can video chat and screen share with anybody now. And it is. It's like there's no reason you should ever have to pay for it unless you have some big enterprise need. Because you can use Google Hangouts and it works great.
Yeah, Google Hangouts is really great for that.
Google Hangouts is really great. Cool. Let's wrap up with a really fun story. This was somewhat incredible. Amazon.com is an amazing company, I think, because they started off selling books, and now they are a technology company, essentially. They're based in Seattle, for those of you who've never heard of them. You're probably not in the U.S. if you haven't. And they are one of the biggest employers in this area of IT talent.
I thought it was Real Networks.
Real Networks is like the number 2.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they're really close. They're big in China too. And so they just Jeff Bezos, the founder, was talking about Amazon's newest way to deliver packages. Well, going to be new. So, you know, they have Amazon Prime, which we were just talking about.
Yep.
Amazon Prime is a really amazing service. If you use Amazon a lot, which I do, you pay, I think, $89 a year, and then you get free 2-day delivery on everything they sell, which is incredible. I mean, it saves you a lot of money.
I don't like the term free if you pay.
Well, I mean, it's not free, but you are saving a lot of money.
I know that. I just think it's a weird thing to say.
Yeah.
It's like going like, I pay for this gym and they let me use everything in there for free.
Yeah. I guess the reason I feel like it's free is because 2-day shipping is generally really expensive.
Yeah.
And you get it on everything you order.
Yeah.
And if you order from there a lot, like you're going to save hundreds of dollars.
It's totally
so it feels like it's free.
It's a marketing term because it makes you feel good to say it's free.
Yeah, and it's like people don't like to be nickeled and dimed. Like most people would rather just pay one fee and then it's all you can eat after that, right?
Yeah.
It's like Netflix. It's like you pay $8 or $9 and you can watch all that you want rather than renting.
Sure.
So anyway, Amazon today announced that they're going to be doing or they're working on Amazon Prime Air.
Is this real?
I thought this was a joke. This is not a joke.
Whoa.
So this is Amazon Prime Air. You know those parrot drones? They want to utilize them to deliver packages to your house within 30 minutes after you order them. So they load up one of these little drones.
Please tell me it's experimenting here.
Well, they said it's going to probably be until 2015 before they can deploy these because they need to figure out the FAA regulations.
Right.
And so they want to load one of these up. These things can carry up to 5 pounds and fly up to 10 miles out and then back to the Amazon headquarters place.
That's like 12 pillows.
Can you imagine if you order something and it's like dun, da, 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 dun, da, 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 da. There's like this army of drones just flying overhead all the time with packages?
Can they do that though?
I don't know. I mean,
do they have any footage of this?
Speak of the devil.
Oh boy. Please make this big. I want to see it.
I hope they use the music that I... Oh my gosh, it just sits there like that? Do they have air drone pilots that fly these things?
No, I'm sure it's computerized.
Well, how would it know where your front door is?
Oh, you think it lands or you think it just drops?
There's no way it just drops this thing into your... from 100 feet in the air
It's like
onto your
iPhone.
freaking... No, see, yeah, like it puts it down.
They don't have somebody flying it, dude. You think they have somebody remote control flying it?
No, you're right. It would have to be computerized.
That's ridiculous. I mean, like, cool ridiculous.
Can you imagine? This would be incredible. I don't even know if I would use this, but it is pretty amazing.
It seems really cool, but it seems like there's we're talking like clear skies, nothing there, no abstractions. Like that seems a little bit...
people shooting the drones down to steal your package. Yeah,
totally. That's what I was thinking. Or birds flying by or anything like that. You know. So it seems a little Futurama-y to me, but it would be cool if it could do it. I mean, I don't know. It just seems kind of crazy.
It seems super crazy. I'm reading the comments on Engadget right now.
Wally.
Pizza delivery, anyone? I don't want my pizza delivered in that. It's a great idea, though. Think about it. I mean, think about...
Jeff Bezos has lost his marbles.
So many things. I don't know. I mean, this seems crazy, but a lot of things seem crazy before they become status quo.
Yeah.
I thought this was fake when I first saw it. I don't think that it is. And if it's not, it's still genius because this is free advertising for them.
Mm-hmm.
But... think about how much money they waste, like sitting in traffic, driving around. Sure. I was ordering a pizza the other day, and I went to pick it up, and the guy was like, I was like, hey, you guys been busy today? And there was a football game. He's like, oh, man, I was sitting for 45 minutes just trying to get from place to place because the traffic was so bad. You have a package that's uninhibited, by traffic. It just flies from one place right to your doorstep.
Yeah.
This thing probably uses hardly any fuel.
It probably is really quick too.
It's I mean, they're doing this to get it to you in under 30 minutes. That's the idea.
That's crazy.
Like you order something and in 30 minutes it's at your doorstep.
Yeah, I wonder how often we'll see them like, just.
I don't think it would be that often. I mean, how many people would? I'm sure there's gonna be a fee for this, an extra fee.
Yeah.
So not everyone's gonna do it. But if you had to, you're going to buy a toothbrush, right?
Yeah.
Let's just say. And, you get lazy when you get used to ordering things online. You don't want to go anywhere. You just want to be fat and lazy and you want it to show up. And you can order it and all of a sudden a drone drops it off at your freaking front step. Not only do you get the toothbrush without having to go anywhere, you get to high-five all your friends who are there drinking beers with you, but you just had a drone drop something off. You don't even want the toothbrush anymore. You want the six-pack, actually. That's what you want to get delivered.
Yeah, that would be rad. You can't even do that anyway, though. You can't do that with anything. You can't get alcohol delivered to you in any way.
Is it illegal?
Can you pay someone to bring you a six-pack? No.
No, but you should be able to. That's the company we need to start.
I'm sure it's illegal.
It probably is illegal.
It would be cool for like emergencies and stuff. You're like,
it's an emergency. What? I'm out of beer. I need more immediately so I can continue drinking.
No, what if you're like, sexy times and you don't have any condoms?
Oh.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah. There's all sorts of
because you don't want to
things.
leave the house, right?
Yeah, for
Ruin
sure.
the mood.
You need it in 30 minutes.
Yeah. Oh, I already did it.
I need a bottle of wine and the extra large condoms in less than 30 minutes. That would be pretty cool. I don't know. So this says 2015 at the earliest, so don't expect to see this anytime soon.
Yeah. It's really kind of interesting.
Something Jeff Bezos said?
I'm not thinking through enough to know if there's things that are impossible about it,
Yeah.
It just seems kind of like, it seems well presented.
It seems crazy, but it's definitely well presented.
Yeah.
The little GPS unit on the top. Jeff Bezos once said, he's like, at Amazon, we always try to think 7 years down the road.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you're developing something for 7 years and you complete it, people can't copy that.
Oh,
Our competitors can't match it because you've been working on it for 7 years.
Yeah.
They'll be so far behind. There's no way for them to catch up.
Yeah, I think he's a genius. He's had, I think it was a quote from him that was like, the perfect online e-commerce store just has one button and it's the thing that you want. So basically, it's like trying to create as little friction as possible to get at the thing that you want and as quickly as possible. So like that's how they kind of strive to operate their system. I mean, they invented one-click shopping, you know, and
which Apple licenses.
Yeah. So they have a patent on doing
yeah,
that, you know. So like that kind of thing.
Amazon Web Services, everybody uses that now.
Yeah,
I mean, all the cloud stuff that you hear about, it's Amazon that's built a lot of that stuff.
I think it's cool too. This is one of those other things that those 37 Signals guys say. They say, whatever product that you create, you have a byproduct. You just have to figure out what that is. And in 37 Signals case, they build what is it called?
Web
apps. And their byproduct is writing books about how they create those and their work experience, right? And they said like something like a lumber yard creates the lumber, but then they also do sawdust, you know, as a byproduct.
And lumberjacks.
Right? Yeah. But for them, for Amazon, one of their things that was genius about them is they do tons and tons and tons of shipping. So now they have Amazon fulfillment. So if you're a small vendor, you can give them all of your stuff and then they'll ship it, you know? The experience experts will ship it for you. I mean, it's awesome, you know? And then they also did so much web traffic that they figured out ways to do that better, and now they're
even Amazon search, you can implement that in your site.
Yeah, so like all of those different things that they can
it's crazy,
you know, branch out on. It's super cool.
Yeah, Jeff Bezos might very well be a genius. I mean, he's very intelligent to say the least, and he has a lot of great ideas. He probably has a lot of smart people working for him. And I always remember one time he said, like, we're into building platforms so that people can use these platforms to do something, because that's really how you know, grow and get big, is you build a platform that other people can use.
Exactly.
I mean, that's what like 37 Signals does too.
Yeah.
They have a platform that are basically tools for other people to use.
Yeah.
So, in any case, that's all we got.
Yeah.
Cool place to wrap up.
Actually, before we wrap, we're going to read a few reviews.
Okay, cool. Let's do that.
Do you want to bring up our iTunes? Because I have a few extra ones from the UK.
User friendly.
That we were very nicely sent.
Look at that top link.
I just need to find it.
Holy smokes, we're up to 60. Thank you, y'all.
Wrong show.
Gobble gobble.
Yeah, so if you go to the
I'm trying to open it. Let's view in iTunes. Yes, launch it. Kill it. iTunes. Work it. Smoke it. Where are the reviews at the top? Okay. Most helpful? No. Most recent?
There we go.
Oh, whoa. There's a super new one.
That's the newest one that I wanted you to read.
Cool. Thank you. This one comes from Mike_Kov. Mike Kov.
What's up?
What's up, Mike? November 20th. This one's nice and fresh. I've been watching / listening to UF for about a year now, and it's one of the few shows I look forward to each week. This is definitely one to set a subscription for. It's like a chill Wayne's World. Shop. All right.
Oh, wait, no, that was Bill and Ted.
That was Bill and Ted. Is that what you're doing?
Yeah.
Airfon and Roberto keep it going for a long time. Being a fan of this podcast is like knowing about the independent band that isn't overexposed. Overexposed, we are not. Although we're trying to sell out, believe us. You want them to do well, but not get too big. Hey, screw you, Mike Kov. He's like, I tell no one about them.
Yeah.
Because I want to be the only one watching.
Keep it to myself.
I'd hate to see UF go the way of glossy production. Well, you don't have to worry about that. Cheesy graphics, I feel like we're already there. And lame bits. I'm pretty sure these guys will always keep it real. And will always keep it friendly. I see what you did there, Mike Kov.
I think that's
great.
the newest one.
Oh, that's great. Thank you. We got a bunch of, I guess 2 of them, 2 new ones. Cool. Thank you, guys. We love these iTunes reviews. And if you want to leave us one, it's how we get paid. We're paid in kindness. As you can see, we make absolutely no money from this show whatsoever. And the only thing that makes us feel good about doing it are your compliments. So if you like the show, if you would leave us a 5-star review on your respective iTunes store, that would be great. And then we'll probably end up reading it on the show. I feel like we read most of them.
Yeah. And if you like this show and you're not doing that, we don't like you.
You're a chode, and you should go listen to the Vergecast.
And I'll read the UK ones next
That's
week.
a cool picture.
Thanks. I found it online.
Thanks. I did not take this myself.
Alrighty, so if people want to listen, watch the show, where do they go?
Head on over to youtube.com/user-friendly show. That's an easy way to stream it. Mm-hmm. Or you can subscribe on the iTunes store, just like Mike Cobb said. It's so easy to do.
You sound like the Double Dare announcer.
Do I? Ooh, who's ready to get slimed? I pull a thing and then you just get slimed.
Green slime shampoo.
Green slime shampoo on the Roberto. Woo!
What is it? It's like, get you clean, won't turn you green.
Wipe your glasses off.
Yeah. And so you guys can find us on Twitter as well. I'm at Roberto Hoyos, RobertoHoyos.
I'm at Erfon, at ERFON.
And that has been user friendly.
This has been episode. What episode are we on, dude?
Like an even number, I think.
Episode 98 of User Friendly. We love having you guys here, and until next time, keep it friendly.